Hallo, willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Agatha Christie, die ABC Murders. Gut, wir müssen also ein paar Knöpfe finden, die wir drücken müssen. Dazu gehört mal Bär.
February 1922, South Africa.
Oh, irgendeine Gazelle. Muss man noch im Haus umschauen, was da noch war. Die ganzen armen Tiere. Sumatra-Löwe. Ob wir diese ganzen Zeichen dann erkennen werden? Haben wir hier noch was? Bin ich mir nicht sicher, ob wir hier noch was verpassen.
Best to leave her to sleep now.
Okay. Dann schauen wir uns das vielleicht nochmal an.
The plates around the picture appear to have unlocked. I think I've already seen these symbols on Franklin's trophies.
So, was haben wir denn alles? Hey, muss ich den jetzt drehen oder soll der gezeigt werden?
The Lion of Sumatra.
Der bringt gar nichts.
The Alaskan Kodiak Bear.
Der ist hier praktisch mit 3 Punkten. Jetzt braucht man noch hier da einen auf der Seite. Ja, entweder den oder der in der Mitte.
The African Kudu. I heard the sound of a mechanism.
Was muss man da
Strange way
riesige
of
Nadeln
protecting one's
reinstecken?
safe. Triangulating one's hunting sites on a map.
Okay. 1,
A
5, 8,
signet
7.
ring bearing the Clark's family's coat of arms. A number is written on it.
Eins. So viel Schlösser. Brauchen wir doch gar nicht hier.
These documents are very likely going to help me for the rest of the inquiry.
Was haben wir denn?
A dozen gold sovereigns. Some shares for the Southern Railway and some treasury bills. This is not worth much, hardly enough to justify a robbery. A dozen gold Eton College School Year 1912-1913. Franklin Clark. School report for Franklin Clark. According to his teachers, Franklin was a good student, but lacked discipline.
Wie bringt uns das jetzt weiter?
Sir Carmichael Clark, Campsite, Churston, Devon, to Mr. Franklin Clark, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Tsimsha Kowloon, Hong Kong. Campsite, 1935, January the 12th. Dear Franklin, first, I wish you a good start to a successful new year. I have received your letter dated December 10th. Thanks for defending my interest against Wang, this robber. Things could have got pretty bad if you weren't a real cold-blooded guy. I envy you for that. Things go on here much as usual. Charlotte is moderately free from pain. I wish one could say more. You may remember Thora Gray. She is a dear girl and a greater comfort to me that I can tell you. I should not have known what to do through this bad time but for her. She has an exquisite taste and shares my passion for Chinese art. No daughter could be a closer or more sympathetic companion. Life has been difficult, but I am glad to feel that here she has a home and true affection. You wrote me you want to stay in China for 1 more year or even longer. I don't object. The longer you stay, the more opportunities you will have to increase our collection. Nonetheless, you should know that we miss you here, and that Charlotte will be gone by the time you come back. I am, dear Franklin, your truly affectionate brother. Charlotte Clark, Campsite, Churston, Devon, to Mr. Franklin Clark, Peninsula Hotel, Salisbury Road, Tsim Kowloon, Hong Kong, Campsite, 1935, January 1st. I wish you with all my heart a happy year 1935. Writing my greeting cards, I have affectionate thoughts for you. Always smiling as a child, sailing to distant countries and bringing back to us trunks full of wonder. At home, everything annoys me, starting with this young Thora Sir Carmichael is so fond of. I have nobody to share my feelings with, so I write to you. How can I tell you what happens to me? The simplest way the better. I am doomed. I still have 1 year to live, no more. How do I know? I opened the secret drawer of Carmichael and read a letter not addressed to me. In this letter, Dr. Logan tells my husband in the most direct way the truth he conceals from me. Sir, I know, but my husband doesn't know I know. Please don't tell him. And if he shares the truth with you, act as you are surprised. Carl will probably speak in his usual convoluted way, but I wanted to be the first to announce it to you. It does matter to me that you are aware of what happens in Campsite. Warm regards, Charlotte.
Ja, der Brief war hier auch drin, also hat er das auch gekannt. Was ist denn eigentlich gerade unsere Aufgabe? Inspect the Mansion. Jetzt haben wir uns doch schon sehr gut umgesehen. Wir haben das alles hier auseinandergenommen. Mit der Mauszeiger, mit dem man versucht, irgendwas Neues zu finden. Da hatten wir ja auch schon reingesehen. Und das hatten wir alle schon gesehen. Hier ist anscheinend nichts. Die Box hatten wir uns ja auch angesehen. Was können wir jetzt noch wollen? Das haben wir uns doch auch schon angeschaut.
Collection?
Da hat man auch reingeguckt.
This unit contains the medical records for Sir Carmichael Clark's patients. Let us study them closely and see if there are any familiar names.
Ja, da wurde ja irgendwie drin rumgespielt in den Akten. Das hat man auch geöffnet.
Order and method above all. Let us finish examining the mansion while no one is around.
Er will also noch irgendwas angucken. Leider sagt er mir nicht, was. Was könnte ihn noch interessieren? Weil das hatten wir ja doch auch angeschaut. Da haben wir 3 von 3. In den Schrank unten hat man reingeschaut. Das hat man angesehen. Mit diesem komischen... Was war das? Kompass oder sowas.
There
Das hat
are
man
some very
angesehen.
valuable objects here.
Die Karte hat man angeschaut. Den Katalog haben wir schon mehrmals angesehen. Da geht's nur raus. Den können wir uns nicht
Sir Carmichael's-
ansehen. Da haben wir alles. Inspect the Mansion.
I've finished with this subject.
Ja, eben. Da sind wir fertig. Im Spiegel haben wir uns auch angesehen. Ach, dürfen wir uns das jetzt endlich ansehen. Eieiei. Das hatten wir schon mehrmals versucht, aber jedes Mal hat er gesagt, nee, will ich nicht. Arsenik. Miss Sora Gray.
Miss Thorogray, Comside, Tristan, Devon. Arsenic trioxide thallium.
Ja, nicht ganz gesund. The Black Dragon's Curse.
The Black Dragon's Curse. To Franklin, who will never grow up. January 25, 1928. Car Charlotte.
Inspect the mansion's surroundings. Okay, er ist jetzt endlich mal zufrieden. Hat sich alles angeguckt. Dann gehen wir mal raus. Ist aber furchtbar laut in dem Haus. Da der Boden macht immer so einen Lärm, wenn man da läuft.
Where is the horrible smell of carrion coming from?
Ob das ein Springbrunnen ist? Oh, jetzt habe ich ihn wieder weggeklickt. Oder pinkelt da jemand ausgelassen? Aha, hier wurde eine Ratte vergiftet.
Brown pellets. Revolting. Tut-tut. The gardener does not follow the alignment. There, that's better. It is symmetrical.
Ja, wunderbar.
Brown pellet.
Ja, ja.
Revolting.
Was können wir jetzt noch ansehen?
There, that's brown.
Ja, aber die Ratte kann ich nicht angucken. Halt! Was war jetzt? Ich hab's nicht so schnell lesen können. Eieiei. Ich glaube, das war ein bisschen versetzt, diese Punkte, was man sich anschauen konnte. Wir können es uns, glaube ich, nochmal angucken. Da müssen jetzt alle Punkte markiert sein. Ja, und der dritte Punkt ist nicht markiert.
Brown.
Das kennen wir schon.
There.
Das kennen wir auch.
There. That's better.
Hm.
There. Run.
Irgendwie können wir die Ratte nicht anvisieren.
Run.
Naja.
Run.
Also irgendwie hat er 3 Sachen gefunden. Ich schätze mal, dass vielleicht auch die tote Ratte war.
There.
Lassen wir es damit mal gut sein. Wir lassen es damit gut sein. So. Der Springbrunnen, der sich hier so komisch anhört. Kann man den mal ausmachen? Der ist ja furchtbar. Und irgendein Vogel regt sich furchtbar auf.
This fountain makes a very relaxing sound.
Echt?
I would like to congratulate Clark's gardener. What symmetry.
Ja, jetzt hat sich schon wieder der Ton geändert. Sehr seltsam. Was haben wir hier unten?
It was probably the gardener who lit this fire. Look here. I wonder if someone wanted to get rid of these papers. This object will probably be useful to me. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Können wir die jetzt zusammensetzen? Why did Sora leave personal belongings behind at home site? Why? Nehmen wir doch mal das. Sora Grey stayed behind to settle Sir Carmichael's affairs. Sora left Sir Carmichael's gifts. Perhaps, dass sie charming war? Nee, passt nicht. Achso, ist ein Art Expert. Sora left a letter behind. Personal belongings. Das passt irgendwie alles nicht so schön. Passt es, dass sie ein Art-Expert ist? Nehmen wir mal die roten, passen nicht. Eieiei, fehlt mir hier vielleicht irgendwas? Aber ich glaube, er macht es nicht auf, ohne dass er dann nicht eine Lösung finden würde. Also das mit dem Charming, finde ich, passt nicht. Ich kann jetzt nur noch raten hier. Das mit dem Art-Expert hätte ich ja genommen. Left Letter sehe ich jetzt kein Ding. Und das hier, Missing Decker, finde ich, passt auch nicht. Also ich finde, die passen alle irgendwie nicht. Also, Sora left a letter behind. Sora left Sir Carmichael's gifts. Und a dagger is missing. Sora doesn't want to be accused of theft.
Everything that Thor Grey has left behind comes from Sir Carmichael's collection. He most probably gave them to her. But she chose to leave them here rather than run the risk of being accused of theft. It is understandable when you know just how much Lady Clark mistrusted her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Is Zora a poisoner? There was a poisoned rat at the scene of the crime. Zora left a letter behind. Zora ordered rat poison. Lady Clark thinks that Zora Grey tried to poison her. Ja, passt nicht. Dr. Logan's letter stipulates that Lady Clark has only 1 year to live. Manipulative. Zora Grey never considered poisoning Lady Clark.
Zora Grey had no reason to kill someone who only had few months left to live. The poison she ordered was for rats. The gardener must have made good use of it, considering the stinking remains on the path, not far from the property. I've finished here. I must put the skeleton key back and inform Hastings that I'm returning to London.
Wo geben wir den Schlüssel zurück? Ah, jetzt haben sie hier ein Kreuz aufgestellt.
May you have peace, Carmichael. Charlotte.
Dann gehen wir mal wieder ins Haus. Ja, schon wieder so ein blauer Vogel. Burn
If
sheets
someone has
of
tried
paper
to get
under
rid
the
of these
garden.
documents, they may be important.
I'm certain it is the work of the killer. Their contents is essential for the investigation. Kann ich aber irgendwie nicht anschauen. Ach, jetzt weiß ich wieder, welcher Schlüssel gemeint war. Nicht der Schlüssel für den Heizungskeller, sondern hier der da.
April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra. Perfect. Nothing else is keeping me here.
Na dann. Taxi.
Hello, Hastings? I have finished in Churston. I will take the first train. Tell me, do you know how to restore writing on a burned document?
Yes, you just have to soak a cloth with a hydrochloric acid solution and rub the sheet of paper. Then the characters appear.
Bien. You have been of great assistance, Hastings. Could you please order the solution as soon as possible?
Of course, but what documents do you want to read?
You will see, my friend. À ce soir.
Donald Fraser is here. He insisted on waiting to see you.
Halt erstmal im Spiegel anschauen, bitte. Na, der ist schon sehr verdächtig, der andere. Das darf man einfach nicht vergessen. Ist, glaube ich, sehr wichtig, dass er sich in meinem Spiegel anschaut. Wäre auch schlecht, wenn der Mustache nicht sitzen würde. Weil ich glaube, damals gab es das 3-Wetter-Taff für Bärte noch nicht. Sollen wir erstmal gucken, was in der Zeitung steht, bevor wir mit dem reden?
Royal Mathematical and Statistical Society's Bulletin, September the 9th, 1935. The Alphabet Murder, a methodical madman. It's highly probable that the alphabet murderer will kill again. Could we possibly estimate the number of victims in his next crime? Yes, and it is easy. As soon as we know the ratio of towns, cities and villages whose names begin with a D and the ratio of English people whose names are spelled the same. On the one hand, the ratio of towns, cities and villages in England with a name starting with D, and on the other hand, the ratio of English people with a name also starting with D. After this initial calculation, it is easy to deduce the likelihood of actually being murdered if you belong to the target population. Go to the last page to find our results and details on the calculations.
Ja, so ein mathematischer Ansatz ist ja gar nicht schlecht, ne?
Daily Blag, August 31, 1935. Moustache at half-mast. Poirot's repeated failure in ABC case. Sometimes small things trouble great men. Hastings, faithful collaborator of the Belgian detective, knows something about it. 3 mornings in a row, he confided to us, the cook broke the egg yolks when preparing Poirot's breakfast. This apparently casual event has greatly disturbed my friend, to the point it breaks his concentration and slows his judgment. I also noticed his moustache, of which he is so proud, being duller than usual.
Poirot, I assure you I haven't said any such thing to the journalists. They twist everything.
Stony Silence. Ja, wir glauben am Hastings. Er schreibt jetzt seine eigenen Bücher. Und die Presse ist hier halt unzuverlässig. Ah, was haben wir denn hier?
This bottle is for our visitors. Personally, I prefer the sherry. This man is tired.
Dark Circles. Unshaven.
Donald
Crumpled
is short of
clothes.
sleep, and it looks as if he didn't even bother to undress before going to bed.
Mr. Poirot, I don't know why I'm here.
Become impatient with his indecision. Accuse him of being guilty. Oder reassure him about the fact that he will be listened to.
You wanted to talk, and you came to find the only man capable of hearing you.
Mr. Poirot, since Betty's death, I've doubts about myself. I don't know what to do. And I keep having a horrible dream 3 nights in a row.
Become impatient? Encourage him to continue? Point out that it is not a psychoanalyst's office. Ja, aber so ein bisschen ist es hier doch schon. Tu mir immer sagen, ja komm, mach weiter.
Have a drink, and tell me about this dream.
Reassured.
It's always the same. I'm on the beach with Betty. I grab her round the throat, and I squeeze, and squeeze until she's dead. Her head falls back, and I see that it's no longer Betty. It's Megan's face.
Have you seen Megan Barnard recently?
Yes, our grief has brought us together. I never really knew her before. She's really quite a remarkable girl. But I would never tell her about my dream.
Why not? Is it her you are attacking in your dream?
No, it's Betty. And once Betty is dead, it's Megan's face that appears in its place.
Very interesting. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
How should Donald's dream be interpreted? The two murders were premeditated and were carried out by the same murderer. Donald was very much in love with Betty. Yeah. Donald was a violent man. Yeah. Donald does not kill Megan in his dreams. Donald is tired. Donald feels guilty about killing Betty. Donald really likes Megan. Nee. Ja, wenn wir das hätten, wäre es schon Feierabend. Donald is starting to have feelings for Megan.
Mr. Fraser, I think that the real meaning of this dream is that you are in love with Megan Barnard.
Please go on. Do.
This dream certainly betrays your guilt.
Oh.
But what do you feel guilty about? Having killed your fiancé? Possible. Or forgetting her very quickly for her sister? Certainly. And this forgetting is perceived as a second death.
So you don't really think I was the one who killed Betty?
I do not exclude this theory. I am simply saying that I do not need to know that fact to explain your dream and your guilt.
Thank you for being frank, Mr. Poirot. You've helped me a great deal. I'm going back to Bexhill. I'll not take any more of your time up.
It is late, Mr. Fraser, and you are tired.
I'll sleep on the train. I like trains. It's easy to sleep rocked by the sound of the wheels.
Poor boy, he seems completely lost.
Ah,
women seem to like
nicht.
him. I think Megan will take care of him. Oh, I remember. Did you order the product I needed?
Yes, we'll be receiving it tomorrow.
Bien, it is late, and I asked Miss Gray to come tomorrow morning. I have a few questions I wish to ask her. Mademoiselle, I asked you here in order to answer a very important question.
Wir reden also jetzt mit Zora. Remind her that she did not see anybody on the day of the murder. Ja, das könnte man mal sagen. Ja, das stimmt ja nicht. Accuse her of having lied. Das könnte man natürlich auch machen. Accuse her of being the killer's accomplice. Das ist ein bisschen zu viel vielleicht.
Am I right in thinking you said that you did not speak to anyone on the day Sir Carmichael was murdered?
It's the absolute truth.
Yet, Lady Clark maintained that she saw you talking to a stranger on the front doorstep.
Really? She must have been mistaken. Oh, I remember now. I'd forgotten all about it, but it wasn't important. It was just a salesman. One of those traders who sell stockings from door to door.
Can you describe him to me?
Medium size. Glasses. Dark suit and a felt hat. Not the sort of man you notice. Completely harmless. That's why I forgot all about him.
Nothing else?
He was very hesitant and shy. Usually door-to-door salesmen are very confident. But he wasn't.
Indicate that she lied about leaving Churston. War das Churston? Ask whether she resigned of her free will. Find out that her departure is suspicious. Ja, die beiden könnten wir sagen. Nehmen wir mal den.
You did not leave Churston willingly, I believe.
I don't wish to lie. Lady Clark did not appreciate my presence.
Sincere.
And Franklin could not go against the wishes of a sick lady. He is a good man. And he worries a great deal about his sister-in-law.
I noticed that you left some personal belongings behind at Churston.
Churston heißt, okay. Ask if she will collect the objects. Say that the objects presented a risk. Ask if she will return to Kirsten. Weiß nicht. Der Dolch war das, ne?
It was too risky for you to keep these objects, am I correct?
Risky? What was the risk?
Accuse her of holding the murder weapon. Na, das wissen wir nicht. Say that Lady Clark would have accused her of theft. Ja, das klingt ganz gut. Say that the curse of the dragon is on her. Na, das ist natürlich Quark.
You know very well what Lady Clark might have said if you had kept these objects.
Indeed. These objects were gifts. But Lady Clark would have been convinced that I'd stolen them. By returning them, I put an end to such evil gossip.
Bien. I must ask you one last question. Please reply frankly with either yes or no. If Lady Clark had died, would you have agreed to marry Sir Carmichael if he'd asked you?
How dare you ask such a question?
Ja, wieso nicht?
Sir Carmichael treated me just like his daughter. And all that I ever felt him was affection and gratitude, nothing else.
Thank you, mademoiselle. I will not keep you any longer.
I met Thora Grey on the stairs. Her cheeks were ablaze, and she appeared to be deeply hurt. Poirot, have you offended the poor girl again?
Ja, das
Do you
kommt
have
manchmal
good
vor.
reasons for accusing her?
Ja, auf jeden Fall.
I accused her of nothing, Hastings. I simply asked her an important question she did not answer. Let us see if we can answer it for her.
Sie wurde ja geküsst.
Let us now try and get our brain
Gut, das
cells
heißt
to work.
doch nicht viel. Wir haben ja nicht gesehen, wie sie geküsst haben. Would Zora have married Sir Carmichael if he had lived? Wissen wir nicht, Zora Grey stayed behind to settle Sir Carmichael's affairs. Sir Carmichael Clark was close to Zora Grey. Boah, das kann es mal sein. Sir Carmichael had offered Zora a brooch. Zora likes Franklin. Zora is evasive about her relationship with Sir Carmichael. Ja, das auf jeden Fall. Zora is a seductress. Ist das echt ein Fachbegriff? Zora, the Seductress. Na, ist ein bisschen zungenbrecherisch, aber könnte vielleicht der neue Film von Marvel sein. Sir Carmichael found Zora charming. Das kannst du dich ganz gut vorstellen. Das ist ja beides mal dasselbe, oder? Das passt nicht. Zora wanted to be married and certainly would have.
You must know how to read between the lines, Hastings. When Sir Carmichael refers to paternal affection, he is lying to himself. Read this engraving on the brooch. A dark dragon for an angel with glossy hair. These are the words of a lover, not a father. Lady Clark was not wrong.
What if Sir Carmichael had fallen in love with his secretary? That doesn't mean that she forced him to do so.
True, there are extenuating circumstances. She is a penniless orphan. But she is calculating. Just look how she avoided it when asked if she would have married Clark.
I see. You think she seduced Sir Carmichael for her own gain, and that now she is doing the same with his brother. Poirot, your world is a very dark place.
Do not get carried away, mon ami. We have another more important matter to settle.
Really?
Yes, would you believe that Miss Grey taught me something new? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Was mit den Stockings? Is there another common point between the murders? There were many people in... Ich hab's schon wieder vergessen. Justin? Betty's mother is upset and the daughter never got to wear a gift, a box of stockings. Sarah is unable to precisely describe the door-to-door salesman she met at Combside. Sarah Gray saw a door-to-door salesman coming toward the house on the day of the murder. Baxter is a very popular seaside. The murderer is a seducer, Mrs. Asher's personal effects, a stocking box, and an account book. Before each murder, the victim or someone else... dass das so schnell immer
It's
weggeht.
perfectly clear, Hastings, perfectly clear. Indeed, a stocking seller visited Andover, Bexhill, and Churston on the day of each murder. We have our suspect. This should be of interest to Job.
Ja. Telefon, Jab. Wir schauen aber nochmal rein, ob wir jetzt hier diese Sachen hier nochmal anschauen können. Oh, es ist das Neueste oben. So, Donald's Dream. Donald is starting to have feelings for Megan and he feels guilty about abandoning Betty. Ja, ich weiß nicht. Ich traue ihm nicht. Außerdem ist er gewalttätig. Sarah wanted to be married and certainly would have succeeded in doing so. Ja, ist es dann ein Vor- oder ein Nachteil, dann so einen alten Mann zu haben? Ja, er ist allerdings vermögend. Before each murder, the victim or someone close to them were in the situations where they could buy stockings. Sehr schön. Ja, wir sollen also Jab anrufen. Aber ich würde sagen, das machen wir nicht mehr heute. Machen wir diese Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.